This Grandmaster player gained over 230 LP in just 4 games playing this comp. The board is 5 Divinicorp, Fast 9, with Cho'Gath, Garen, Urgot, and Zac. Now this comp absolutely clears boards. I gave it a try, first game, forced it, and went insta first. Here's the keys to pulling it off. Welcome, another TFT breakdown. We'll get into the keys of this build in just a second. It is an amazing build. It was posted on Reddit by this user here. I'll add it, to the top of the video. And the guide is tremendous. We're going to go over the guide in its entirety. The gameplay we got going on is my first game playing this build, forcing it from the get-go after hearing about this guide. We're going to break it down. We're going to go over the keys, the different mods for Garen, all that good stuff. But first, kick back, grab a coffee, relax, grab a drink if it's nighttime and it's not morning, and enjoy another TFT breakdown. Let's jump into it. So, like I mentioned, this guide was posted to Reddit a couple days ago. Again, link here for the actual guide, as well as in the description for both the guide and in the user's Twitch channel, as they created this guide. Took some time, so gotta give credit where credit's due. But let's break down this guide in its entirety. So the premise of this build is essentially a 5-cost 5 Divinicorp build. It is extremely fun to play, and it's a different opportunity for you to play a Fast 9 build in this meta where there's only 3 or 4 top builds. Right now on this current patch here, essentially all the major challenger players are talking about how it's only 3-4 builds that you can currently play, especially at a high elo level. It does change a little bit lower down in the elo that you go, opens up some more different boards or builds for you to play, including this one. This one, however, does work high elo as well, as proved by this guide, as the guide was done by a Grandmaster who forced this build, not forced it, but played this build a few times and got a first 4 out of the 5 times they played. So, for this build and how it works, you need to go Fast 9. Your first augment needs to be an econ augment. As you see in our gameplay here, we have Clear Minds, which works perfectly. However, for a high tempo game, you want a prismatic econ augment to start. That's one of the conditions that this individual breaks down in their guide. They talk about prismatic econ augments being a necessity. For me here, using a gold econ augment worked perfectly fine this game. We also win streak here a little bit throughout the different stages, so that helps a lot. But econ augment to start is necessary. So they actually recommend hedge fund, upward mobility, invested plus, cluttered mind, clear mind, any kind of econ augment. Take it if you want to go this build or if you have a line for it. The second condition is to win streak. So early, you need to play the strongest board possible. In addition to your econ augment, you want to get to 9 as quickly as possible with as much health as possible. So as you can see from this gameplay, a great opener is Shaco. If you get Shaco 3-starred, or excuse me, not 3-starred, 2-starred, you can essentially ride them all the way to level 9 if you get enough stacks early game. In addition to that, you can play Graves. A Graves Executioner transitions really well, especially with the items that are required for Garen or Renekton. Another build you can do is Vanguard. You can go 4-6 Vanguard with a Kog'Maw backline, a Rapid Fire backline. Zeri's a good one if you hit it late game to transition out of Kog'Maw into Zeri until you go level 9. So any strong early board that saves your health and propels you hopefully through a win streak or at least enough rounds to take you to level 9, that works wonders. That's the second condition. That's what you need to do to win with this composition. So, econ augment to start, and then you need a strong board to get you through the early game. Don't bother going this comp, otherwise you may just bleed out. Now, encounters are another option. If you get a good encounter, such as Scuttle Puddle or Crab Rave, that essentially propels the entire lobby to go high tempo and go level 9 if possible, then that's when you can go this build. I personally prefer going anti-amp strategist in those builds. You can check out my anti-amp strategist video if you haven't seen that already. But with Scuttle Puddle, Crab Rave, I prefer open forwarding and just transitioning into Samira Annie Yumi carry. It works wonders. I top 4 every single time I go that route. But any other encounter, or if you prefer going this build, you can. It works wonders because it gets you to level 9 as quickly as possible. So those are the 3 main conditions essentially. Encounter is a big one. Econ augment, preferably a prismatic econ augment, and then a strong board. Graves works wonders. Shaco works wonders. Kog'Maw works wonders, and then Vanguard as a frontline works wonders. So let's get into items here really quickly, because when you go this Fast 9 build, there are some key conditions, like I mentioned in the intro of this video, to ensure that this build actually works. Items is a big one as well. Sterix and Kraken's Fury are S tier according to this guide maker. I found that they are amazing as well. So S tier is definitely true to its word for that guide. Sterix and Kraken's Fury. Kraken's Fury you're going to put on Urgot once you hit level 9, as Urgot's going to be essentially your main AD carry in the backline, who likes Kraken's Fury, blue buff, and then another AD item. Whereas Sterix works well on both Garen and Renekton. You're going to want to prioritize items on Garen, as Garen's going to be the main attack, damage, bruiser, upfront melee carry that you're going to have. And you're going to want Sterix, you're going to want BT, and then you can go Titans, you can go Edge of Night, you can go Hodge, any of those AD bruiser items that you can make at that point and that stage. Same thing for Renekton, exact same items, Sterix, BT, priority, you can go Edge of Night, you can go essentially any AD bruiser item. QSS is the one I was looking for in my head there. So QSS, you can go with Renekton in the late game. It works wonders against Sejuani, and you're going to want to slam that on Renekton. However, Garen and Urgot are your priorities when you're looking into itemizing these 5-star or 5 cost 2 stars. So Garen and Urgot. Zac is going to be your main tank. Zac's going to like Protector's Vow, Warmog, Sunfire, any tank item you can get on Zac. Once you 2-star Zac, absolute beast. Moving back to Urgot, like I mentioned, Kraken's Fury is S tier, and then you're going to want, you can do blue buff. The guide maker here advises that blue buff is best in slot for Urgot. There's some discourse and debate between that. However, give it a try. I gave it a try. It works wonders in terms of having Urgot cast a lot. Doesn't work so well in double up. I gave it a try in double up with the blue buff. When Urgot casts and executes, pulls in the person, it does take a while to get to your friend if they need help. Just a quick note there for my double up players. But if you're playing solo ranked, don't need to worry about that. So blue buff and Kraken's Fury, great on Urgot. You can use Last Whisper as well. You can also do Deathblade, i.e. any AD items that you have left over. Then Renekton, like I mentioned, is that tertiary carry with Garen, Urgot as your top 2 and Zac as your main tank. If you, for some reason, have a crazy high roll or high item game, you can itemize Cho'Gath as well. Hopefully you have them 2-starred as well. Just standard tank items on them, as Cho'Gath is a beast up front. Especially 3-star. Even with the nerfs to Cho'Gath 3-star, it's probably one of the best 3-stars in the game. But 2-star, still a beast. Now, of course, the objective here is to go level 9 and itemize all these 5-cost champions. You're going to want to 2-star them as much as possible. You'll see here in this gameplay, first time forcing it, we ended up 2-starring all the 5 costs we needed. So we're going to see that in just a bit once we get it there. Obviously, my gameplay is at 1.5 speed, if you're questioning why it's so sped up. But here we got an early Zeri in the actual gameplay. So we tossed all our Urgot items on Zeri, and that propelled us at 70 health to put together a few wins with Shaco up front, holding the Garen items to get us to level 9. Touching back on items really quickly, to go over the entire tier list that this guide maker provided, is in the S tier, it's that Sterix and Kraken's Fury. When you move over to your A tier, it's the blue buff, Edge of Night, BT, and QSS. So those are all items for Renekton and Garen, minus the blue buff for Urgot. In the B tier, Guardbreaker, Rageblade, Hodge, Titans, and Last Whisper. Obviously, Guardbreaker you can use on Urgot, in addition to the Last Whisper, potentially Rageblade if you don't have a blue buff, and then Hodge and Titans for Garen and Renekton. In the C tier, you can use Red Buff, Sunfires, Ionic Spark, which you can throw on Zac, Gunblade, and Giant Slayer. So again, whatever items you kind of get throughout the game, use them accordingly. If you can't make the ideal best in slot items, you can go to the C tier. It still works wonders, as 2-star 5 costs at level 9 beat majority of the boards. And that's kind of the route you want to go regardless if you're going that fast 9 build. So for this gameplay here, having a look, our third augment, we took Slammin'. The reason why we took Slammin' here is we want to get to level 9 and test this board out right away. I do recommend taking combat augments in this situation. You shouldn't be going to econ and then my gold collector item one. You should be getting a combat one going. But Slammin' is key, as this propelled us to level 9 ahead of the entire lobby. Let us roll down for all the champions that we needed in this build. Now, moving on to Garen mod priority. This is a big thing here, is Garen is OP this patch. And having them as your main AD bruiser melee carry is exponential, as having the right mods on the right people, including Garen, helps you win against those capped best build boards. So like the 7 Exotech with maybe a Garen with the Exotech emblem, or you have the 6 Vanguard Marksman, or 6 Vanguard Cogmo, or a fully kitted out Radiant item Graves. So to beat those boards, you do need to ensure the mods, or you have an early Garen, and those mods accumulate slowly through the rounds. So the priorities here are Divinacorp. You want to make sure you can get Divinacorp on Garen. By having Divinacorp on Garen, it gets a Divinacorp buff, and it just makes them exponentially better. If you don't get Divinacorp, the priorities are Boombot, Bruiser, and Executioner in that order. So Divinacorp, Boombot, Bruiser, Executioner. You're going to put those mods on any of the 5 costs. Once you finish the 5 costs, you can go with Cho'Gath and then maybe Vex. But at that point, Vex, you may still have Vex as a 1-star. Now, when you're doing your roll down there, I mentioned Vex is only 1-star. That is a priority as well. Don't waste your money on 2-starring Vex. It is just a trait bot for Divinacorp and Executioner. You're not going to itemize them. Only 2-star them if you already have all your 5 cost 2-star, as money is key in that late game once you're level 9, as 2-starring your units costs a lot, but it is necessary for you to cap out this board. So when you have when you have your full board capped out and everybody 2-star, that's when you can 2-star your Vex. Now moving on in terms of the late game here, once you have your final board, it's going to look a lot like a Divinacorp build. You're going to have your Ross, you're going to have your Senna, you're going to have your Gragas and your Vex. Those are your 4 Divinacorp minus Renekton until you get Renekton in there. And then you just add your 5 costs in. You add Garen, you add Zac, you add Urgot, and then you add Cho'Gath for the Boombot Urgot trait. That's what your final board is going to look like. If you go 10 or anything like that, you can, if you're extremely high rolling, you can put in Kabuko or Samira, just any kind of 5 cost Aurora to help propel your board. But your priority obviously are those 4 5 costs we've mentioned throughout the video. Now, this gameplay here, we're nearing our roll down here. We're at 33 health. We've lost the last 3. I believe here we're getting close to our roll down. Let me have a quick look at the video. Yeah, we hit level 9 with 50 gold. We take our Vex. I don't 3-star it, as you can see there, because I need to save the gold to 2-star my 5 cost. That is key and essential in your roll down. Don't waste gold on the trait bots. Don't waste gold on the Senna. Don't waste gold on the Ross unless you've already 2-starred them. And don't waste gold on the Vex. Prioritize the Zac, prioritize the Garen, prioritize the Urgot, and prioritize the Renekton. Now, with our roll down here, as you can see, we have another Garen in our shop. We had Viego just in case we need to toss Viego in there in replacement of not getting one of our 5 costs. We narrowly lose this round here, but that's totally okay. 5 gold, 23 health, but we did a massive roll down. We got a Zac, we got an Urgot, and we got our Garen. I thought we accidentally rolled over that Garen for some reason, but we got that Garen. So this is me panic rolling here, trying to max out everybody, get everybody in, see how capped this board can truly get in a lobby where I have 23 health and the guy in first place is going Mr. 100 right now. So at this point, I'm doubting this build in its entirety, wondering if I'm even going to top 4 during this roll down if I'm not hitting. So even with 1-stars here, you can see we're clearing some of the lower health boards here, even after the roll downs. And then at this point, we just donkey roll at level 9 until we hit our 2-star 5 costs. That's essentially what you do once you hit level 9. Again, we took Call to Chaos there and we got our lockets for support items, but you're going to want to prioritize a combat augment in this situation, as it'll truly empower your Urgot, Garen, and Renekton, as you need that combat augment in the late game, especially if you're low health going up against some of these capped out boards. Now, other keys for this build is obviously blue buff on Urgot. You're going to want to give that a try, as it is apparently best in slot for Urgot according to this guide maker, and this is a Grandmaster player doing this build in the Challenger LP, Challenger ELO. So give that a try. Let me know how it works for you. I didn't do it here in this game as I had an early Rage Blade to help solidify my early game, but I did try it in some other games and it did work as well. Like I mentioned, I tried it in Double Up. Wasn't too shabby in Double Up, but it does its job. Now, for this build, you can see we're essentially capped out. Garen should be our secondary carry here, not Renekton. I kept it as is for now here, but you can itemize Garen instead. So I have Renekton itemized. You can toss it on those items on Garen, as Garen is going to be the stronger champion in this situation, especially if you get the Divinacorp mod onto Garen. But we are essentially capped out here. We have a 2-star Urgot, we have a 2-star Renekton, 2-star Zac, and 2-star Garen. We don't lose to anybody for the rest of the game. Essentially, or I think we might actually lose one here. I'll get to that in a second, but the build is so capped here that at this point you're just either saving gold or donkey rolling for Zac blobs to completely cap out your board. But very rarely anybody is beating this board when you do cap it out as such. So the tricky part is getting to this stage. The fact that you can get to level 9 before majority of people and then roll down for these 5 costs, that's what really caps this board out. However, if, like this guide mentions, and like I'm saying here in this video, if you get those econ augments early, especially the prismatic ones, and you can hit level 9 ahead of the lobby, as you're seeing here completely live, not completely live, I'm not playing the game currently, but you're seeing it firsthand, is we are clearing boards with minimal effort. There is not a chance that anybody comes close to beating us in these rounds. We get lucky with a Divinacorp emblem as well, just to completely cap our board and max out, but that's not even needed to win. So you saw there the previous round, we completely knocked that individual out of the game, and it wasn't even close. So we're going to round out kind of slowly here. I'm wanting to put that Divinacorp emblem on Zac, but with no remover, I just leave it on my Cho. This build, I truly enjoy it. I've tried it 3 times now. I don't think I've been out of the points. In Double Up, we finished, I believe, 2nd and 1st with the build. In this ranked solo game, finished 1st with this build. So it's exceptionally strong. If you guys have any if you've played this build before and you have any suggestions on how to improve it, go ahead and leave a comment below. Like I mentioned, for this build, the guide is linked below as well if you want to take a look at the full extensive guide posted on Reddit. I've also posted the individual's Twitch down below per their request, who created the guide. You can go check them out as well. They're a Grandmaster player playing some of the top comps, so you can have a look at their match history, see what they're doing and what works. And then if you're a big fan of these meta breakdowns, these guide breakdowns, and you want to stay up to date on all the necessary builds in TFT on every single patch, make sure you subscribe below. It helps me a lot. You can like the video as well. I'll be posting the most up-to-date meta builds possible each patch, just to help you guys climb, whether you're low elo, high elo. These work for everybody. And we can just have kind of a conversation together about what works, what doesn't work, any improvements that you recommend from this guide, from the challenger players we break down, or from my gameplay that we break down. And if that's not for you, if you just want to check out the videos here and there, that's cool too. I appreciate you hanging out, enjoying this TFT breakdown with me. That's essentially it for me. I'm going to let you round out this this last round here. As you saw, we lost to a Cypher build with the Draven. Other than that, that was the only time we lost. we ended up finishing up here our roll down and taking this game pretty easily. All it takes is the roll down for the Zac blobs, and we were smooth sailing. So enjoy the rest of this video here. Enjoy the last couple rounds. This build is an absolute menace if you can hit, and hopefully with this breakdown, it gave you all the information you needed, not only to hit this board and kind of cap out with this board, but to execute it to a high level as possible. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys next time for the meta breakdowns of the best builds possible. But until then, enjoy the grind and have a good one.